Hello there and welcome to the Drax Files Radio Hour with Jo Yardley. My name is Drax Dupre. I have a little cold, although it's 100 degrees or something here in my attic. I moved up from the basement, but that joke's getting lame. The summer break is almost over. It's over next week with a new season 3 to be exact, with a show entitled Sansar Anxiety and a great panel from the SL and VR world, or worlds for that matter. So there will be a big roundup of news that happened in VR while we were away this summer. Make sure you tune in for that show. Also, of course, send us comments and questions in regards to Project Sansar by this coming Wednesday, and we're going to incorporate those into the show. Fun as always, of course, if you send us sound files with your questions or comments. Also, from that show on forward, we will have a series called Origin Stories, where folks share their fun, hilarious, scary, possibly boring stories, how they got into Second Life. Be part of this and send us audio files, no longer than 5 minutes, please. We will cut them to size, edit them nicely to fit the flow of the show. But today, last rerun, and we're going to play an interview with Mirek Hanschel, who teaches high school in Germany, chemistry and computer programming, and he's using Minecraft. He's very successful with that approach. We aired the interview in show 68, but that show also featured a sparring with Hamlet Al from New World Notes, and I think the excellent conversation with Mirek may have been overshadowed by the drama surrounding Second Life journalism, whatever that means. Is there such a thing? SL journalism? But anyway, here is the unabridged interview with Mirek, teacher of chemistry and computer science. Fabulous stuff about using digital worlds in the classroom.
I use Minecraft as a simulation tool on the one side, and on the other hand, I use it as a collaboration and a cooperation tool. So the kids are not alone in front of a tablet or computer, something like this, and working themselves with a program. They have to work together, like in the real classroom. So it's more something like a hybrid situation, something like a not really augmented reality, but on the way to that. Yeah. So they work in virtual worlds. They love it because it's a big intrinsic motivation for them. It's a game for them. They like to play. Everybody likes to play. Yeah. As a child, it's no problem, but if you're going older, maybe most people, more adults, say it's not so good that you play, you have to do something for school. So this is a good point for me to catch them. A little bit like stealth learning. It's hidden inside the game or the world I modeled for them before we started the lesson.
So just a few facts real quick. So you model, it's a controlled environment, so you modeled that world. They can't just wander off by themselves. That was a question. How old are these kids? What grade levels? And how big is the classroom?
The classroom is around about 25 people, something like this. 22, 25, round about. Chemistry, the grade, 9th grades, okay. And the computer science is not a course or something like this. It's more, we call it in Germany, Arbeitsgemeinschaft.
So it's not a required subject, it's voluntary.
Exactly. For volunteers who like to do something with computer science, programming, tinkering, something like making things, yeah. And we don't write some tests, or I don't give them some credit points. It's just for their own interest, and it's amazing what they do after school in this computer club, if you like to call it.
You do chemistry on the one hand, so what do they do in chemistry?
The famous word you've seen in the documentation from Mr. Thoma is about the atomic model Mr. Bohr invented some years ago, to learn that every atom is with the protons and neutrons inside, and the electrons are on something like shells around the nucleus, And this law you can learn on the one hand with a book and with a worksheet, for example, or you play a game. And the big difference is that the game is much more dynamic. So if you make a mistake, you just play the level, if you want to call it a level, again.
Tell us, how do the kids go about in Minecraft specifically? How do they discover these different components? Do they explode things on the ground? Do they have to search for them?
For my 9th graders, I have some chests with components inside to build an atom. So there are 3 chests, one with the protons, the other one with the neutrons and the last one for the electrons. And then I give every kid atomic workbench. And only if the combination of these components is correctly together, you get an atom.
And how do you see the result? And when you have the correct result, what happens? What is your visual confirmation that you succeeded?
Yeah. This is very important to talk with the students about it, because it's just a model. Yeah, in the game you have yellow balls. They are electrons. It's very funny to talk about them, that they look like tennis balls now, but it's just a model. So if they get an atom as a correct result, it is just a model too. It looks like the classic atomic symbol, like 3 ellipses around a circle or something like this. It just looks like an atomic model. You just put this item then out and you have some atom constructed or crafted.
And then you see it, and in the collaborative environment, of course, then your teammates see them, and then you have a feeling of success. And in the documentary, you see, and you talk about this, and I think it's fascinating that kids, of course, have very high aspirations sometimes, and they want to do something very complex, and then they kind of fail at it. So they want to make a very complex molecule, but then they resort to actually going back and doing the hydrogen. So talk about this, how important this is, because this is also something that is so dear to my heart. When I criticize the school system, we don't allow for safe failure, and failure is important.
Yeah, exactly. Failing is very important, and you have to learn when you are doing mistakes or failures. On the one hand, there are some school systems or credit point systems where you are better not make some mistakes, because then you don't have enough points or so. But it's more important to see what was the mistake when I learned something, and then to repeat the step again and to avoid the mistake. Yeah, I have no problem with it that the students try to make the largest atoms as possible in the game. Yeah, because they will fail. I know it.
Now you need, of course, time. What you're describing, the fail and fail often, is of course the mantra in Silicon Valley, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of private schools that adhere to that. But with No Child Left Behind and Race to the Top, the run-of-the-mill public school in the United States, I would argue, is very much obsessed with data and linking teacher evaluation to student performance. But I'm getting off a tangent. The point is, when you do this in Minecraft and you allow for this failure, you need the time.
You have to reduce the components of the world. Yeah. So I did a lot of mistakes. The first one was that I created the world like something like Second Life. A lot of houses with walls and roofs. Everything was hidden. So there was something like a challenging, mystic atmosphere for the students. So I thought they are much more intrinsically motivated to explore the world. Yeah. But this was exactly the problem, what you said about the time. Yeah, it took too much time that the students went around the corners and so on. So now my favorite world is completely flat land. Nothing else. Just place a flat land in Minecraft, maybe put a fence around it that students cannot escape.
Oh, you went from something inspiring like Second Life with lots of art to explore to a summer prison. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry for that, but completely flat land, and just put the necessary things inside the world. For example, the chest with the atomic components. Yeah, and then the result you have is that kids are again exploring the world, but they are much faster on the way you want to have them, without extrinsically saying them you have to go there. They just do it themselves, no matter of time, that they run to the chest and open them and first take everything out, every electron outside, which are in the chest. So that's all the other students say, hey, I don't have enough electrons. And then I say, for example, Peter has collected all, ask him, And so all kids run to Peter and say to him, hey, please give me some electrons. I have to build, I want to build an atom, So Peter has to give it out. So you have much more communication, collaboration inside these virtual worlds as in the normal real classroom. Yeah. If I teach this topic in the normal classroom, I know that my kids in my class in front of me is thinking, but not loud. But inside Minecraft, I always can watch them, what they do, including the atomic workbench. I can open the same workbench where a student works with a right click, like the student did, and I see what he's doing now. I see where he places the electrons, where his mistakes are, what he's doing wrong. I don't interrupt him. So don't go to the student, let him think. Yeah, time for thinking is much more important than putting everything inside like a funnel, inside the head and say, so this is the thing you have to learn, and after 45 minutes you have to learn everything. This is wrong. Yeah,
it's fascinating, and you said also in the documentary, in the Spiegel documentary, by the way, director Philipp Thoma did a fabulous job. I think very, very glad how he did this. You say that Minecraft is better than Ritalin, which I love this phrase. And we're facing arguably an epidemic in doping the children so that they adhere to a system that is by design not natural for their learning capabilities, right? You just hinted at that, the type of anxiety-inducing, faster, you got to do this now, you don't have time, finish this. You give them time, but you also focus them on a task.
Yeah, this is very important to focus the students on a special kind of task, because every student needs another kind of task. Yeah, this is something we call heterogeneity. Is it right?
Heterogeneous learning.
Perfect. So we have a special word in Germany like Binnendifferenzierung, but I don't know how to translate it. Yeah, it means that you had, for example, take a picture in your head, like you have different types of learners, different kinds of learners inside your class, your course, different students. The one is amazing; he knows everything, like a rich background with a family, like academic people. On the other hand, you have the family with a low income, low salary, no way to get to digital media, with a competence correctly. So large spectrum. The big picture, if you like, So the different types of learners too. It's part of it. So. If I have normal worksheets, maybe I have some scaffolded worksheets, much more difficult, for the faster learners. But in Minecraft, I just have this one world and not, for example, 5 different worksheets or 2 different kinds of books.
It's amazing. So the world is regulating, it's leveling the playing field, you're saying.
It's regulating itself, because the learners inside the game choose the place in the world, in the virtual one, where they want to learn. The one is more at the corner, for example, of the virtual building. The other one is just, if he spawns inside the world, is digging a tunnel and is vanishing there because he is, I don't know, it's maybe better for him to learn underground or so. And you have always some groups which are forming inside the virtual world. Different students come together at a special place inside the virtual world and learn together.
You are happy to let go of some control, right?
Yeah, it is something like a rubber band. Not completely let them play. This is not correct. If I see that something is happening inside some communication processes or so, which is not so good for their personal development,
you keep a watchful eye over what's happening so that they don't go completely off the rails, and you intervene when they do. Mm-hmm.
There's a new verb I had to learn. It's called to grieve. This means that kids are doing bad stuff.
We in Second Life know that very well.
Just placing some hard to dig stones around me so I can't escape or something. This is harmless. There are much more bad things. And I have a special method. I think this. I just built a virtual jail, like in Monopoly. If the police is catching you, you have to go in the jail in the Monopoly game. And just wait 1 or 2 rounds without getting pocket money. So I do the same in the classroom. If somebody is grieving, another player, I just teleport him inside this virtual jail and just let them stay his 5 minutes. That he thinks about what he has done wrong, because this is another effect compared to if I put the student outside the room. Yeah, if he's outside the classroom, so the real one, he cannot see what the other students create for wonderful things during this time when he stays in prison. Yeah, he sits in the virtual jail, but sits at the same time in the real classroom on a chair.
Absolutely fascinating. Let me ask you, because here when we spoke, whenever we speak with teachers who use Second Life in the classroom, there is always everybody who is enthusiastic here and actually has some success. They run up against enormous opposition of administrators or fellow teachers who say, no, this is not how a classroom should work. Games have nothing to do with the classroom. There should be a book, and this is how we've done it, and this is how it works. How do you deal with this? Is this happening that fellow teachers look at you like, oh my God, look what he's doing. He's corrupting the youth.
There were more the colleagues who asked me, what are you doing there? Yeah. So the math teacher or some foreign language teacher, they asked me, how do you teach with this game? Yeah. I just saw it somewhere, for example, a Let's Play or a kid talked about it, and I just saw blocks. How can you teach with this stuff? Do they count the blocks for mathematics, or what are you doing there? And I just explained them the game like I do now at the moment here in the interview. And I just recommended for them and said, just try it. Ask me, I help you, I create the world with you, and we will talk about it, how we can put this tool, yeah, Minecraft is a learning tool, inside your topic for civics or art or literature or what else, yeah? STEM lessons, STEM topics. So there are many colleagues who are highly interested and motivated to try it, but they don't have the time. They have so much to do with other tasks in school. Sorry, but it's not their fault. Yeah,
no, I understand. I fully understand. They're really caught between a rock and a hard place. It's the same here.
School system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same here. The teachers are burdened with administrative duties and what they call accountability.
It's totally hard to measure. And don't forget that the most important step after working with Minecraft in the classroom is to bring the students back into the real world. Yeah?
Right.
Don't let them play inside the virtual game and say, that's it, nothing else. Forget what you feel with your senses, with your eye, with your nose, the smell of something. For example, in chemistry, yeah, the smell of boiling tea. Yeah,
right.
How do you want to simulate it in Minecraft? It is impossible. Yeah, so this is the biggest step I have to do as a teacher in this moment to bridge the gap between virtual and real life, so that the kids leave school after 12 or 13 years and say, hey, I've learned everything I need for my real life, including how to be competent with digital media. Yeah.
Very good point. So because the digital media competency, I think, is kind of a positive byproduct that you're teaching as well, right? I mean, everybody's talking about media literacy, but what you're doing, it's kind of like on the side, and you're getting an education on that too.
Yeah, exactly, it is. And the second topic I teach, computer science, is my hobby horse, is the right idiom. I have to say that I use a so-called a modification for Minecraft. It's called ComputerCraft. So you can place virtual computers inside the Minecraft world and boot them and program them with a real computer programming language called Lua. Mm-hmm. You have virtual computers and turtles. Yeah, real little nice turtles, but they just look like a block. And with a right click, you can program them with the scripting language, and you can animate them. They can go forward, turn left, place blocks, destroy blocks, fight, something like this. And a new modification of this mod called ComputerCraft EDU is especially for younger children or programming beginners, if you like to call these kind of people. So you program it in a visual style, just by dragging and dropping some commands inside a matrix. Yeah. So you say you have an arrow, a green arrow showing in front, and you place it inside the matrix, and then the turtle goes one square in this direction. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is very similar. Sorry to interject. Are you familiar with Scratch?
The idea is similar, exactly. And then I thought about it. How can I connect the virtual and the real worlds together, like I did with chemistry and talking with the kids about it after the lesson. And I wrote a mod for Minecraft to control real robotic systems. So you have to imagine that you have your virtual Minecraft worlds and some virtual electronic logic circuits, and you jump on a pressure plate in the game, and on your desk, on your real desk, a Lego computer starts to turn. So you have a connection
between the physical world and the virtual world, controlling and animating the physical world. Mm-hmm.
The positive side effect is that the kids are talking about, what have I done here? I've created a connection between virtual and real world. I'm asking the distance or tilt sensor which position he has now. What would be if I have other sensors, for example, and then you have the same discussions about digital media competences too.
This is amazing. What's what age kids we're talking about? What grade level is that?
I have graders between 6th and 12th grade working together in groups in the virtual world and learning new things.
Is teaching programming or computer literacy or computer science, scripting, things like that, is not part of the regular curriculum in the German gymnasium. Am I right?
Not exactly. In some states it is.
When they talk about computer literacy in the classroom, they teach the children basically how to use
Office.
Yeah, exactly.
I know these discussions. Some friends asked me some years ago, hey, you study computer science, you can help me with Excel.
We're training secretaries. Meanwhile, the world is going to hell in a handbasket, and we need to kind of fix that, maybe.
This is not my favorite kind of computer science lessons, exactly, as you can imagine. So I like more the tinkering stuff, yeah? Do you know the Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have one.
There's a great story behind it. I don't know if you know it, because they invented the Raspberry Pis for the first semester students, because they say, hey, I can create a web page. I know HTML, so I'm a programmer. Yeah, but this is stupid. These students, it is a generation, I can't believe that every second of them has really opened a computer in his life, like we did some decade or 2 decades ago. So they have their Xbox, their PlayStation, but I don't know if they take a screwdriver and open it and look, hey, what is inside, yeah? Exactly. So this is the reason why they invented the Raspberry Pi, to have a cheap, low-cost, single-board computer where you can tinker with, yeah? You have some input-output ports, and you can program it, and it doesn't hurt if it is damaged or so. Take the kids at their hand and say, hey, here's something magical. Let's open it and try to reinvent the wheel, for example. Why not? Yeah, it costs time, but you learn so much with it, and so much during the topic with your students together. There are so many competences you learn, not only digital media competence, with personal organization, working in the group, yeah, something like this.
It is absolutely vital, because otherwise we're just relegated to passive, recipients of media, passive consumers, rather than really understanding. I just want to throw in the BBC. This was reported a couple months ago. That the BBC is giving the Raspberry Pi free to schools in the UK, which is amazing, and I hope that maybe catches on in other countries. I want to ask you, and I don't know what your familiarity is with Second Life. Of course, we believe as Second Life residents and evangelists that Second Life is very superior to everything else.
Yeah, I played Second Life in 2007, maybe? I don't know. It was not so perfectly with the graphics and so on, but that's another topic. I think the advantages of Minecraft is that you can host your own server on your personal teacher laptop, on your school web server, something like this. Students can work after school 7 days per week learning as an environment, if you like. I use a special mod of Minecraft, however you like to call it. It's called a Minecraft EDU. It is from the company Teacher Gaming from Finland, and they created it in license from Mojang, and just put special teacher administration inside the game, where I can administer the game, the world, the students, or what else I like, very easy inside the game without typing some commands in the text chat. Yeah. So I just can freeze all students or teleport them to me, to my coordinates, or give them something, for example, like the turtles they have to program now.
This is something in Second Life only Linden Lab employees have that power.
I use the Minecraft EDU version together with the Computercraft EDU mod and the mod Wheel Robots I programmed. This is all the stuff, the components I need for my computer science classes. Yeah, and for chemistry, I, for example, use another mod called Advanced Chemistry, but the problem there is it is developed for an older Minecraft version 1.4.7, and now we use 1.8.2, I think, as a newest version.
Game mechanics, are they important? Are they a driving factor with the students? Do they motivate them more? Or do you motivate? I mean, obviously, you give them certain goals.
I take control inside the game where it is needed to. Yeah, this is, if you like, some kind of mechanics I influence. If I see that a student is doing some griefing stuff or is trying to escape the world, I put him back. This is one kind of game mechanic, yeah, I can control, and the students learn it. Yeah, they see Mr. Hanschel has the last word, what I can do in this world. Yeah, but do you know Brunner?
No.
Jerome Brunner, it was an American psychologist, wrote something about, I don't know in English, in German it is Entdecken des Lernens, exploring learning.
Jerome Brunner, American psychologist, still alive at 99 years of age, teaches or was at Harvard and is a research fellow at the New York University School of Law.
He had 4 points. The best conditions are for exploring learning. So one thing is that you have to push the creativity of the student and to give some way of intrinsic motivation, and this is the big thing Minecraft offers with the game mechanics. Yeah, you can walk where you like. Yeah, just to the borders there. Stop, Mr. Hanschel said. But the students can walk there where they like, and they can learn where they like. Yeah, they are represented by an avatar inside the game. So it is not like I play a game in Ego's shooter perspective. Yeah, and nobody sees me. I always see the players.
Right, the third-person view. The same in Second Life, but I'm sorry to interject here, but in Second Life, you have argument. We're talking about extrinsic and intrinsic learning, broadly speaking. I would argue that in Minecraft, not the way you're doing it, but the way I've seen it done, there's always a reward system. And it's not that I'm against it. I completely understand that certain kids need rewards more than others. There are others who just do it to do the best job that they can. They don't need any, gummy bears. Hey, the good job, that kind of stuff. But it seems to me that in the way Minecraft is used, or when people talk about Second Life versus Minecraft in teaching, is that Minecraft is better because there are some sort of brownie points that you can reward people with. And you do that also. You see in the documentary when the kids do the hydrogen, they succeed in creating the hydrogen a molecule. They can tie it to a pig, and then the pig flies up in the air. Now, I'm not criticizing you. I think that's a marvelous idea and a marvelous payoff when they succeed. But my question is that something essential for you? Why it works? Is it an essential factor that Minecraft works so well that you have this reward system?
Yeah, I never thought about it, but I could give the students who succeeded a certificate with a flying pig.
Yeah, you can print. That would be cool. You can print it on a poster.
It's much important than A+ or so.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the first one who let a pig fly in my life. Yeah, it is something like Monty Python. Yeah, this is my kind of humor, and I grew up with juggling and fire blowing, and I was a magician in my youth, yeah. So I always had this other kind of feedback when I did shows in the kindergarten, or if somebody married or so. I just showed them nonsense, stupid things, yeah. And they believed me, and I get massive applause. So this is the reason why I put this kind of humor inside my learning sessions or learning arrangements. So why not? I just don't forget, please, that I have to give them points at the end of the year.
Yeah, they need to be graded at the end of the year, yes.
I can't say he gets the A+ because a pig was flying around. I have to check if he learned everything, but it's much more intrinsic motivation if I use Minecraft as a simulation tool where we can work all together and doing some. I told it in the documentary, stealth learning. Yeah, I just hide the things the students have to learn inside something which is very funny. Yeah. It is a coexistence, yeah, between different methods, and we have to learn that it is a good coexistence. If you have virtual worlds like Minecraft or Second Life in an educational context.
All right, so that was Mirek Hanschel, and that's it for the show. There's some contextual links on the blog. Have a fabulous weekend, everyone. Make sure to watch the announcements surrounding Drax Files video episode 31, which is coming next week. I'm not going to say if it's Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. You got to pay attention. Official Second Life blog and other bloggers will have some info. Also, I forgot to mention this. QZ.com, some internet publication, interviewed me. And it's a fairly good post on Project Sandstorm and Second Life, but there's a bunch of things that I think I'm quoted out of context, a little bit misquoted. The quote is that I was irked by the corporate presence in Second Life in 2007. No, I wasn't irked by the corporate presence. It didn't annoy me that they were there. What annoyed me is that marketers made such stupid decisions that resulted in a failure of these campaigns and then blamed it on the platform. That irked me for sure. So that's in that article, and I regret that I was quoted like that. It says really misleading, I think, but the rest is pretty good. Basic stuff that you already know about Project Sansar and so on and so forth. Please visit our sponsors. Become a sponsor yourself. Do get in touch with us. Tell us news scoops. Don't forget to check out hashtag Berry Spotting and Torley Spotting on Twitter, respectively. Just a little fun distraction from the real world. Also check out Immersive Drags and check out Where's Palmer. I ain't saying anymore. Where's Palmer? You might have heard about that. Anyway, for people who have real work to do, I'll see you in Second Life. Have a great weekend. Bye.
The Drax Files Radio Hour with Jo Yardley is a weekly production of Basic Drax Entertainment. The show is supported by Dwarfins, Leap Motion, Dutchy Furniture, Stitcher, Strawberry Sing, Fateware by Damien Fate, Giza Creations, Arrows Avatars, Maven Homes, Mad Pea Productions, Girls Identity Circus, Ison, Caravel Design, Vika Creations, Humanoid Animations, Loki Elliott, Botanical, Death Row Designs, Fallen Gods Incorporated, What's Next, Abranimations, The Den, Cube Republic, Avacon, and Landscapes Unlimited. Contact the show via Skype, Drax Files, Avatar Drax Files, or email radio@draxfiles.com.